Hey everybody, welcome back. Another weekend of Up North Journal, and we're live.
We had last weekend off.
We did. It was Easter.
It was.
Hope everybody had a good Easter. Hope everybody had a blessed Easter, and hopefully you got to spend time with the family. That's important stuff. And as always here at the Up North Journal, we're going to do our quick shares, and we will get on with the show tonight. So
right. Oh, I'm trying something new this week, so bear with me.
You are? Okay. Let's see how that works.
Right?
I forgot to actually pre-do all my shares, so I'm going to have to go through and pop these real quick. So we'll see how this works.
Come on, pick it up.
So hopefully everybody that's been out turkey hunting has been successful. Danny and I have actually not been out yet. So I think, Danny, we're going to wind up probably doing the May season. You know, as we're doing some shares here, I will say I wish the state of Michigan would actually do something a little bit different with their turkey season, because they make it so hard for guys who work Monday through Friday. The seasons are so short.
It's ridiculous.
And if you get a bad weather or whatever, or it's just it makes it real hard to get out.
It does, and
so
it just.
Yes, I'm complaining. Okay, I'm done with my shares. So you let me know when you're ready.
I will.
Let's see who we got on, if anybody is online as of yet. A couple people joined in.
So it's actually nice weather out there.
It is. It's been beautiful. I did some work outside. I grabbed the Easy Cut pruners and loppers today and went out back and
so did I.
Tackled the fence. Got the grapevines trimmed and got a couple of the little rogue bushes and trees that are growing through the fence. Got them taken care of. So you let me know when you're ready here.
Yep, just a couple more, and then actually this is kind of going not too bad. Believe it or not.
So the new plan's working?
Well, so far.
So far.
Right? So far. So
good deal.
I'm trying to go for the bigger screen too. Like you got over there.
Right?
So
makes it a little easier instead of trying to do it on your phone.
But,
how many more you got there?
I'm down to one left after this.
Alrighty.
One left, and we're ready to go.
So, did you get snow? They were forecasting snow.
It was funny you mentioned that, because when I went to bed last night, it was raining, and I'm like, okay, it's going to start to change over.
Right.
And then got up this morning, and there was no snow. I'm like, yes.
Mike Fortner says, hello, Dan. And Terry DeFault is in house. Tom Ginzel is on board.
That's my brother-in-law.
Oh, it's your brother-in-law. Okay.
And my brother.
And your brother. And Tom Ginzel's watching. Tom, have you got a bird yet? Have you been out hunting?
All right, that's it. Let me click this over to here. And understand. Give me the picture.
Come on.
And I think away we go.
All right. You ready? Here we go. Stand by in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal Podcast, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in the cabin tonight on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, or evening now. And we didn't have any snow here at my house last night, thank goodness. So what's going on, Dan?
Not much. Did you have a good Easter?
Yes, I did.
Excellent.
So yes, I did. Nice and peaceful and quiet, and the kids had all the kids home, so everything was good.
Right. A big shout out to Billy Hoffman, who's watching with his son Hunter.
Hey Hunter, how's it going, bud?
Right.
Welcome to Up North Journal Podcast. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Tell your dad to lose that dad bod.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that, Billy, because that's going to follow you around.
Right.
You're going to lose that dad bod.
Okay.
All right. Hey, you know what? While we're sitting here, I'm drinking it. You're got a big old mug of it. I got to go to sleep eventually.
Right.
But while you're watching the show, hey, why don't you guys go over to Hunter's Blend Coffee and the coffee we drink here at Up North Journal. Go over to huntersblendcoffee.com and use our promo code UNJ.
Right there
on the screen, and then you can get 10% off when you check out. So
get you some
and enjoy it with us during our show. But we talked last week we did. We talked previously,
Right.
and we aired it last week with Tread Barta.
Dude, was that an awesome interview or what?
I tell you what, in some interviews, when you hear things from some people that, whether it's their highest of highs or their really lowest of lows, and you're not expecting it,
Right.
I mean, we're talking, the shock factor was like, whoa.
Right. Yeah.
And if you, and anybody out there knows this, and if you ever shot a Glock and knows how the trigger system works,
right. You know where that was at.
and you know exactly where he was at, and it's like, wow, luckily his doctor walked in at that millisecond, because
I fielded a lot of questions this week on that too. You know, people that were thankful that we put that out there, that needed that voice of inspiration at that point in time in their life. So
right, exactly. So, but you know what? He talked about doing this thing going to Alaska.
right.
You know, and he's going to jump in this trailer with his dog Pepper, and he's going to tool on down I-90, headed towards the
West Coast.
Headed towards the West Coast, hang a right somewhere eventually, and head towards Alaska.
Right.
But he's got to use a trailer. Mm-hmm. So I figured, you know what? Let's get on the phone. Let's get the trailer company, because they got to deal with Tread and the trailer. Mm-hmm. So why not we talk to John Such of H&L Trailers?
John, you still with us?
Yes, I am. How you guys doing today?
Hey, we're doing good. I appreciate you joining us tonight, all the way from Elkhart, Indiana. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
So, this trailer company, give a little bit of background about what are you guys doing with Tread? You know, how did this all come about? And
How did you end up being the lead person from the trailer company to deal with Tread? That's what I want to know, because this has got to be good.
Yeah, I was pretty fortunate and stuff. Like I said, we're one of the few that actually do a mobility type trailer and stuff. We build a travel trailer with wheelchair lifts, roll-in showers, and stuff like that. So we build a few for people around the country and stuff. I've got a couple of them international and whatnot. So Tread gave us a call and stuff, and he kind of told us the background and what he had planned on this expedition. I think it's the Get Off the Couch expedition going up to Alaska. And said he had a few extra requests for it. So as a company, we started talking amongst ourselves and stuff, and this may work into Tread Barta edition somewhere down the road and stuff. But, you know, he's doing rod hangers and gun racks, and I've got the guys over Shoemaker Welding welding up a special rack for the back of this for his extra equipment and for his generator and stuff. So my buddy Mark Shiro there welded us up a rack. That's pretty sweet.
You know, and to my understanding, he has now made it to Elkhart, Indiana, and he's been in your shop the last few days. And okay, how's that going? How's that going?
The guys are pretty well received and stuff. Like I said, he's in with our employees, and he's been in different times and seen it in different stages of the build. So that's pretty good. Everybody seems to be pretty excited to be involved in the project. So he seems to make friends wherever he lands, you know?
Right. Yeah, we got a picture up right now with the build crew. You guys are taking a photo there with the trailer in the shop. So, yeah, he looks like he's right in there with you guys, right in the shop. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we've had the pleasure of having him in there, and Pepper's been running around and stuff, making friends also. So it's pretty sweet.
How big is this trailer? Let's go over a little bit of the dimensions of this thing, because we got a kind of a generic picture and a couple of the pictures of it in the parking lot. So how overall, what's the width and size of this thing that he's going to be traveling in?
It's one of our mid-size and stuff. We actually did a special design for him to get a little bit different bathroom for him. But width on it's 8 foot, length on it's right around 30 foot.
Okay, so it's an 8 by 30. Now, as we see the pictures here, you got the standard door, I think, is on the right side. And then on the left side, you've added, to get into this, a lift. Talk a little bit about the lift. Now, this is going to receive a regular wheelchair to get in?
Yeah, it's set up. We're using a Braun commercial lift in there. So it's set up for even like a power chair. It'll handle about 800 pounds. And depending on the layout of the trailer, whether it's the front door or the back door and stuff, but we run a 46-inch door on it. So there's plenty of clearance for a chair to get in and out with.
Well, I know he has a track chair too. Is it wide enough to get a track chair in there, or no? Just for people that might want to know.
We haven't measured it and stuff, but I was able to work on the track trail with him and stuff. I'm thinking it should be wide enough for that also.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That would be awesome if he could, if he had to. But I know he has his other wheelchair as well. Now, to operate this lift, is this like you're standing on the outside? Is it like remote control, or how do you get the? I know how do you get the door open and get everything ready to lift?
We've got a remote in there. The remote basically unlatches the door and stuff. The lift itself is ran through a wired remote, and that'll reach either inside the unit or outside from the ground. So it's, like I said, it's a commercial lift. It's about like what you see on a van or a bus.
Nice. That's I've never had to think about a trailer like this before. I mean, obviously, we're not in that same situation, but to see it and actually see pictures of it just blows my mind. That you guys are putting this together, and it looks like you guys have kind of got everything that he needs in there. As far as like an oversized bathroom. He mentioned that the kitchen, that the controls are actually down lower to where he can reach everything. How much planning and thought goes into something like this? I mean, is it a big change compared to what we would normally see in a trailer?
Quite a bit. Like I said, we've had other people, with their influences and stuff along the way, but, a person such as myself even, not thinking about what it would take to function out of a chair. Mm-hmm. Everything's got to be lower and stuff. Receps have to be up higher off the floor, so when you go to lean over to plug something in, you don't roll out of your chair and whatnot. So, okay. Like I said, we've had quite a bit of outside influences, and I try to get input wherever I can. We're constantly trying to improve the unit and the way it functions. Mm-hmm. So it's been a pretty good project along the way.
When did you guys start building this style of trailer? I mean, is this something you've been offering for quite a while?
The owner, Peggy Flagger, bought a company out about 6 years ago, and with that we acquired the design and the name of the Harbor View. Okay. So, and with that, like I said, we've made quite a few improvements along the way since then. But good product.
It looks like it looks beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful looking trailer.
And as we talk about this, and if anybody's interested to look more into these trailers, where can they go first of all to get an inside view of these things and maybe take a look at one?
Well, the best thing to do is get a hold of us at hlenterpriseinc.com. You can get on our website. Give us a call at the shop at 574-294-1112, and we've got a dealer base set up. We can put you in contact if you call up the factory.
Okay. Excellent. So what other little nuances? We got a picture up right now that we're seeing somebody in a forklift towing it around the yard you got there. And how long does it take to actually build a trailer?
Right now, we're looking at about 8 days from start to finish once it goes online.
Okay.
Backlog, we're looking probably around 8-9 weeks at this point. It's starting to get pretty busy.
I got to imagine, everybody wants their trailers now because the season's coming up and they're getting ready to get out and go camping or cross country or wherever they're going to go. So,
the northern season's pretty well in the swing right now.
And I just had a picture up here. I'm going to come back to it. It's showing the front. It's sitting out in front of your shop, and you can see the hitch there. Is hooking these up to a vehicle, is this something that somebody that maybe that is paraplegic, do they need help in getting the trailer on to a vehicle and latched, or how does all that work?
Well, we run everything standard with the electric tongue jack, so they can set it up to height. A lot of your newer trucks have the backup cameras, which makes things a lot simpler, Mm-hmm. Little getting in and out and stuff. A few people, such as Tread, he's doing this trip by himself. A lot of them, go with other people or have people around and stuff. So they're pretty easy to hook up, and the leveling system and all that works pretty well. A lot of the stuff will work with the remote also. Once it gets to where he's going, that remote control will put his room in and out, awning in and out and stuff like that. So we've tried to make accommodations to where a person could function on their own if need be.
Okay. And from what he talked to, he's going to be on his own.
Right.
Unless Pepper has opposing thumbs and can help him out.
Yeah. One thing about Tread, though, he seems to make friends wherever he goes. So I imagine people will pitch in to help him out.
Absolutely.
For here and there.
He will have an army of help as he goes along this. I'm imagining, because once the word gets out that he's on the move, I'm sure they'll be tuning in to find out where he's at, and if anybody's in the area, I'm sure they'll be willing to help him out, no problem at all. And I see on the back of the trailer itself, it even says "Paraplegics, patience, please," and you know, that's just giving a person a heads up who's driving that. Well, actually, you don't know, but he's actually driving the truck too.
Right.
He's only going to be by himself, so you know. It's one of those things. It's a really cool thing that you guys are doing out there. It's kind of just, you know, like Tread's message last week to everybody was get off the couch. And you guys are absolutely helping out in doing that. I mean, you guys are coming up with the lift, expanding the kitchen, the shower, everything that he needs, a paraplegic would need to help out and get off the couch and get out camping.
Absolutely.
And if you want to go anywhere with a camper, here it is.
There you go.
And John, you got to be pretty proud of that fact. And as a company, and just being able to be able to get people that might have been sitting on the couch, but you're giving the effect of, hey, get off the couch, get in the trailer, and get outside.
Yeah. I've been pretty fortunate to be able to work with the project and stuff along the way, and it's not only, you know, adults and stuff. A lot of them, you'll have a husband and wife with a child in a wheelchair, and it gives them a chance to get out and camp and whatnot, you know. That just gives a lot of opportunity that wouldn't be there normally. We talk to other people and stuff that have done something in the past. It was a matter of going in with a saw and trying to hack this part of, you know, this part of that apart and try to make it big enough for a wheelchair inside. And we've kind of engineered all that for everybody.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. You know, and you're right there about kind of MacGyvering something if you have to, and you know, everybody's done it in some way, shape, or form. But
my utility trailer, I'm constantly carving on that thing, adapting it to do something, you know.
Right. So you guys have come through here and did an awesome job, and I hope Tread really enjoys this trailer. And, you know, he's going to be in it for a while.
Well,
yeah, we're all pretty excited to track his trip.
You know, looking at like the functionality on the outside, because I haven't went camping in a trailer in quite a while. As a kid, we used to do it all the time. You know, we went from a small pole trailer to a motorhome, but I always remember we'd always get to the campsite if it wasn't out in the wilderness somewhere. I mean, if it was like a regular campground, you'd pull up, you'd plug your power in, and you'd hook your water up and all that. With this being a specialized trailer, is those type of hookups and things in a position to where somebody in Tread's position can get a hold of that very easily and make it work? I assume you've taken care of that?
Yeah, I mean, everything's accessible for him and stuff. He can get everything through his chair or out of his chair. Okay. He's also taking a generator with him, so what we've done is relocated like where the power cord plugs into the unit, put that back there where it's towards the back of the unit, so you can just do a short plug into the unit from the generator.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's just the little nuances like that to help him out, or anybody that needs help. Like you said, you rerouted it to the back of the trailer, makes for a short connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that'll be awesome. But when
yeah, we're a pretty small company and stuff. Like I said, we don't do full customs by any means and stuff, but what we try to do is accommodate. So we're pretty flexible with our design, which helps.
Well,
not only on this product, but the other product also.
I tell you what, that lends to your company being able to be flexible. You can't give them the old, well, we can't do that because
right.
Our other 85 models can't do it, so we're not going to do it.
Right.
No, you get with John here, tell them what your problem is, and it sounds like they go right in and try to figure it out. In Tread's case, they just pulled the wiring towards the back of the camper where the generator is. So, yeah. I tell you what, John, we're coming up on our first break. How about we step out, we come back, we'll talk more about the trailer.
All right, sounds good, guys.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Okay, guys and gals on the live stream, if you've got questions for John that you'd like us to ask about his company or the trailers themselves, you know, get him in on the live feed right now. and we'll ask those questions.
Right. I think it's just the more he talks about how being the small company, the flexible is just that's awesome. But I'm sure it's a handful with Tread giving orders.
I can only imagine. It's probably been a whirlwind down there. That's cool.
It seems when Tread goes somewhere, it is a whirlwind.
Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't had the opportunity, guys and gals who are on the live stream here, check out what happened to him on the way from North Carolina to Elkhart, Indiana. He had a little excursion along the way, so
Right.
I don't want to spoil it. It's something that's definitely worth the read. Go over to his Facebook page and check it out. So, all right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Second segment of the show. We're still talking about the trailer talking with John down in Elkhart, Indiana, of HL Enterprise. Danny,
You know, it's one thing that, you're working at a trailer company, John, and do you have any knowledge, you're getting these trailers set up for people in the outdoors. Your background lends you to saying, hey, you guys are going to need this, you're going to need that, because you've done it?
I've done quite a bit. Like I said, we grew up with kids camping and all that. I've been in the industry for about 37 years now, so I've got a little bit of background behind what needs to happen,
And that, okay, so let me ask you this then. So obviously in all industries they evolve. You being in the industry in 35 years, what's like the biggest what's evolving that you see is changing at a rapid rate, from the old like silver bullets that they to what we have today and to what you guys have? What are you seeing that trending or changing at breakneck speed?
Well, we've seen a lot of changes and stuff since I've been in. Even they went from having units without any tip outs in it to tip outs, and then to push outs and slide outs and stuff. So you got expansion rooms on it. The computer system's starting to step up. You're getting a lot more electronics in the units. They've got control systems you can hook up to your phone and stuff and run remote, for leveling jacks and to turn all your lights on and off. I mean, they're pretty complex.
So they can say there's an app for that.
Pretty much.
That blows my mind because I never would have thought of that. But like you said, everybody pulls their phone out today, and you run your house lights and lock your doors or whatever. You can check everything with your phone now. That's pretty cool that you can hook your phone up to it and just make it work off of that. That's something. Yeah. That's incredible.
A lot of stuff's going green also. They're starting to do like solar panels and stuff like that. We've switched over to almost all LED lights in there, so your power consumption's far lower than what it was with incandescent bulbs and small stuff like that people don't really think about. But, I mean, you're enjoying the outdoors and you're kind of preserving the outdoors by doing it,
That's incredible.
Do you see, as I know from the automotive industry, do you see a big swag into the battery-operated life?
Yeah, like I said, all the LEDs and stuff, they're running around 12 volt now instead of 110. So
right,
a lot of that's changed out, and they're running converters, and even some of the 110 stuff, they're running power inverters off the battery, so you can charge your battery during the day and then run a refrigerator or a TV at night. So things have changed quite a bit.
Absolutely. Question we do have for you: when you're leveling the trailer, is it mechanically done or is it done electrically?
This is going to be electric. We've got push button jacks underneath it.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're fairly level underneath there and stuff, but it'll help stabilize the unit pretty good.
That's another thing that's from the world of mechanical, having to winch down a leveling device, looking at it, going by the little bubble that you might have, to doing it with a button and going boom,
right.
Making sure one thing you got to make sure though is you got to make sure you got to have a solid base. Am I correct?
Yeah. You want to be on something that is fairly decent, and if not, we always recommend putting a 2x6 or something underneath it. So what I've done for the handicap units is recommend that they'll do like a small rope loop or whatever. So if you need to get it with a grab or whatever, you got something to grab onto.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yep. I know a friend of ours had a fifth wheel, and he was kind of, he thought he was on level ground, went to put it down, and it was actually, he was sitting on not as a level, and the 2x6, it shifted, and the trailer fell off of it, and it was a mess, but we got it out. He was stuck, but we got it out. But, yeah,
that's what stories are made of.
Exactly, and it was, we pulled up, and he's looking at it, and it's like, uh-oh, we're gonna have fun with this one. But you know, it's one of those things. The height of this trailer, is it a normal height for a trailer? I don't know what they are, but is it like a normal height trailer, or does it have to be taller or anything like that?
It's running normal height and stuff. We're running 80-point sidewalls on it, so you're right around 11 foot, maybe a few inches over with the air conditioners and whatnot.
Okay, all right. I was just wondering, because when you're traveling down the road, and you got to be careful, but it doesn't sound like it. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know, and talking about you, raising your family with camping and fishing and being in the industry, it's got to be pretty fun just to bring your kids up doing and working what you love, it sounds like.
It is. Like I said, with kids, you know, when the kids were smaller and stuff, we did a lot of outdoor activities, you know, between fishing and like I said, we did a lot of hiking when the kids were younger.
Go any place spectacular?
We've been quite a few places and stuff. I spent a lot of time up in the UP, up by Quamanon and over to Copper Harbor area. Down in Kentucky and stuff, we did a lot over by Natural Bridge. But we've had the kids out to Dakotas and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
Seemed like a lot of the summer vacations were kind of based around stuff like that.
Absolutely, Quamanon Falls uppers are just incredible. The big ones are just it's a spectacular thing to see, obviously, and I like to be in the UP myself, so it's just.
Yeah, you're partial to the UP.
I am partial to the UP, so my hunting camp's over in Crystal Falls, so I've been up there. I've been up there, and like you said, Copper Harbor and Quamanon, and the only place I haven't been is Lake of the Clouds over in Gogeeba County.
Okay.
That's my last spot on my Michigan tour, I guess.
That's on your Michigan bucket list?
Right.
Okay.
So, but you know, this dealing with Tread, I think I know you guys are going to be on board with seeing where he goes and what he does. I think you guys should be pretty proud of yourselves at the trailer company that what you're able to do and provide for him. And I think it's going to be exciting to watch him for the next, I don't even know how many months he's planning to do this.
5, last I heard.
5 months. But and, I bet you John will be right at the other end of that phone fielding questions for him.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I says, if you get into some fishing up there and stuff, maybe they'll let me off a week or so and I'll fly up and do some fishing with you up in Alaska.
Right? You know, you might have to do a trailer check. I'm just saying.
Just got to fly up there and check it out, make sure everything's okay. Oh, and I brought my rod and reel with me.
Right. I would take one for the team, you know. I'd put that out there.
Exactly. You know, for quality purposes, you should follow up with the trailer after 90 days, wherever that 90 days might be, and give us a report back as to how the quality, right?
Absolutely.
If you need anybody to talk to Peggy about it, I'll be glad to do it because I know all about the quality loops in a vehicle. It's like, yep, gotta check it out, man.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
There you go.
It's you
guys are planning on coming down tomorrow then, or?
Yeah, we'll be down. Actually, Tuesday. We'll be down Tuesday. We're gonna come down.
Tuesday.
We're gonna be down there Tuesday morning. We're gonna come down, meet Tread. We'll meet you. We'll meet the rest of everybody, and plan on spending a few hours in Indiana at H&L Trailers.
Yeah, checking it out.
That'll be good. I enjoy showing the shop off and stuff, and like I said, I know all the employees like seeing people from the outside come in too, so they're pretty proud with what they do.
Well, it looks like you got a real fine piece of gear for him to take out. I'd be proud of it too. I mean, what you guys have done from just the pictures we've saw, to me, just blows my mind what you guys can do now with campers and trailers, and it's really cool. And it gives people that might have something in the way where they can't get out as everybody else does, you're giving them that opportunity to be able to get out and enjoy the outdoors. And to me, that alone is worth its weight in gold. I mean, that's awesome.
You know, we do have one more question. The weight of the trailer that will be taken with the added equipment that you had to add, the lift and everything. Is that adding a lot to the trailer or minimal?
It'll add a little bit to it and stuff. We're looking, our trailers run from about 6,500 pounds to about 81 typically, and that's from the 24 to the 36. So I'd say he's probably going to be around 72 to 7,500 pounds.
Okay.
And that should be with water and all the extra equipment that is taken.
How often is he, speaking of water, now that you just brought it up in that question, how many gallon water tank is in that trailer?
We're running about a 45-gallon brush tank on there.
Okay.
And then your black and grays are running about 40 apiece.
Gotcha.
So you should be able to get by for a little bit.
You know, and that's the thing, and he's gonna have to stop and get water eventually at different places. So,
right,
depending on where he finds, getting that taken care of and emptying as well. So.
Is there anything else in the trailer that we haven't talked about that you had to do special that you want to talk about before we wrap up on this?
Well, we're doing some backers and stuff. We looked at storage since he's going to be living out of it full time rather than like weekend camping. We've tried to put some storage solutions and stuff together for him. Okay. You've got quite a bit of room underneath the bed, and he's going to use Rubbermaid totes. And we kind of figured out a way so he could access all that by himself.
Okay.
So, basically, just trying to find a place for everything, you know.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, he's got to find a place for everything because he's going to be living out of this full time. So he's taking a full load, you'd say, with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he actually was in Friday afternoon putting some fly rods and reels and stuff together, so starting to lay those out so we could kind of engineer his rod holders. And like I said, it's not only going to be functional and stuff, but it should be pretty cool to look at also. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Where are you actually going to install those at?
He came up with a plan to do this on the ceiling.
Okay.
And I guess he used this in his boats and stuff down in the Keys. Okay. It's going to have overhead rod storage, and he said he can access everything with grabbers. But basically, it's going to be eye hooks, and then we're going to run strips of wood to screw them into and hang those.
Okay, so, we're looking at a picture now where you can actually see the ceiling. One of the wide shots of looking through the trailer. So you're going to have them right up on top. And I know he had mentioned also that he was going to try to get some maybe some gun holders in there as well. Where are those going to be placed at? Or do you have a place for them yet?
Initially, we looked at a cabinet that sits behind the where the stool's at.
Okay.
There was a shallow linen cabinet and stuff, so I had him leave the shelves out of that. And he purchased and sent up I think a 4-gun rack.
Okay.
So those will be vertical in behind there.
Okay.
Nice. And I think to answer Mike's question on the live, he's pulling it with a GMC. If I remember right.
Yeah, we had a question about he's got. Is that a 3/4 ton that he's using? Do you know?
He actually is using a half ton and stuff. I sent him down to Elkhart Hitch World, and they put bags on it, and they put a leveling system on for him. So he's got plenty of motor with it, and with the suspension modifications, it should be good for that trailer.
That's awesome. This guy's getting hooked up.
Right?
This guy's going to be riding in style.
No kidding. Well, I'll tell you what, we're bumping up here towards our second break, so we're going to step outside. We'll take our second break, and we'll talk with you briefly in the commercial break here, John, so just hang on one second. For everybody on the live stream, we're going to step outside, and we'll be right back after this. Okay.
All right.
Now, Danny, is there anything else that we
I think we got everything covered till we get down there.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. John, I guess we'll see you Tuesday morning sometime. You want us to bring the coffee and donuts?
Don't say that out loud.
It's up to you.
Man, I tell you what, the whole crew will be waiting for us.
Danny's buying.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How did I go?
Oh, that's good stuff.
Mike and Melanie stopped by the other day, and they brought some coffee down.
Okay.
Good. Have the leftovers.
Thank you. think you dropped or grabbed that up, so maybe in the office. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys.
Okay, that's
Absolutely.
right. The guy, Mike Schwarzentrooper from Hunter's Blend stopped by. Yeah, I saw the live stream that y'all did down there. That was pretty cool. So good. Those are good people. So, all right. Well, John, thank you for spending some time with us tonight. We really look forward to meeting y'all Tuesday, and we'll see you then. Okay.
My pleasure. You guys have a good evening, and I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay. Take care.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
That is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I tell you what, that's a company. I tell you what, just the sounds of it being small enough to accommodate a lot of things that need to be accommodated.
Yeah,
and they can't
absolutely.
tell. They're not going to tell the person no.
Let's see if we can figure something
Right.
out.
Let's see if we can figure it out. You
Yeah.
know, because they know. You know, some of these big companies will tell you, well, this is the model we got, and this is the model you're going to get. You get these options, A, B, C, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, cool.
Hats off to him for taking a project on like that. So
Absolutely.
I see Jim Miller, Killer Miller, has joined us as well tonight. So hopefully, we're sitting here in a break right now, but hopefully everybody's gotten out and done a little turkey hunting. As we said before we started the show, Danny and I are still waiting. So we're going to try to make that happen in
May.
2 weeks.
Something like that.
And if not then, it'll be the last weekend of May.
If not, we'll just...
It's been tough. It's been a tough go. So,
All right, let's go to the next segment.
All right. All right, let me get this one started here.
Is that all you want to talk about in the next segment? Is that guy, or you got more?
I got plenty of things we can talk about.
All right.
So we'll go from that to something else.
All right.
All right, here we go. Stand by in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, third segment of the show. You know, you guys have got to check out last week's show if you haven't yet. We just had Jim Sucks on. Such.
On from H&L Trailers.
H&L Trailers.
It's actually H&L Industries Incorporated.
John Sucks.
Yep.
Such. Okay.
From H&L Industries, Harborview Trailers. They're the trailer company that'll be providing Tread's trailer on his little skirmish.
Little.
Yeah, it's a little.
If you haven't listened to last week's episode, go back and listen to it. Seriously, it kind of explained the whole deal of him leaving North Carolina and going to Alaska. So it's well worth the listen. But the only Tread Barta is going to make the trip of a lifetime. So it's pretty cool stuff.
You know, it just like we talked on the break a little bit. This company is small, but not too small, and it sounds like they're very adaptable to what a person's needs is.
Absolutely.
Especially a paraplegic when they can take and move the electrical lines to the rear of the vehicle so they can hook it up to the generator. That's cool.
That's cool. Making it adaptable. So, but so what do you want to talk about?
Third segment of the show. What do you want to talk about? There's a big old pole sitting next to me over here.
Well, I think this goes with it.
Well, I'll show you.
I've been waiting to get this thing out and get it into the woods. It's we've been waiting on these to come in so we can start playing with them a little bit.
Well, there's the end of the pole. And there's no way I'm going to be able to twirl this like a baton unless I get up and swing it around.
No.
So you got to give me a second.
Go ahead. While you're doing that, because we need to see the other end that this goes on. This is the Kamikaze saw, pole saw from Easy Cut. We talked about it on the show. And you okay?
That hurt.
You just grabbed a hold of that. Did it cut you? Uh-oh. Dude, go get something. This thing is sharp, I'm telling you. Danny might be going to the hospital now.
Yeah, I ain't going that.
What happened?
He just grabbed a hold of this as it hit his hand as he took off to swing the pole around. But this is the end of this pole saw. It extends 20 feet. It's got 2 extensions on it that lock into place. You know, a lot of the older pole saws, you know, it's got the rope on the end. You extend it out and you're pulling on it, and things start to come apart on it. I've got one at my camp, and it's really wore out. But this thing doesn't have that problem. This has positive locks on it, and you can actually get 20 feet of extension with this and trim the limbs when you're setting stands. Or if you're just wanting to trim a tree in your backyard. Or Danny's hand. You okay, Danny?
Yeah, fine.
It's like, I should have turned this thing the other way. I'm sorry, Danny. Cutting the man's hand off right here live on Facebook. Are you gonna be okay?
I'm fine.
All right, flip that thing around. We gotta show the end that this goes on.
We gotta show the end that my finger.
Yeah, we might have had a viral moment there. You know, people might be wanting to show that and
No, let's not.
keep playing it back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get that thing turned around or not.
I can get it turned around.
Okay, here, I'm gonna put this down.
Thank you. Or put the guard back on it.
Right. Okay. So, as he sits there with that, you unlock that, push the button, and it comes out, and you'll get a click, and then you lock this back into place. And you got another lock up there, pretty much does the same thing. And you get 20 feet of extension out of this. So, here, I'll let you lay that back down on the floor. But that is the Kamikaze pull saw from Easy Cut. These guys just keep coming out with some cool stuff. And
Hey, and it cuts.
it cuts. It does cut.
Cuts my finger well.
You need stitches?
No.
Okay, good.
We could do it live on air. Would you do them?
I'll suture.
No, you ain't touching me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to laugh, but I'm sorry. I really am.
It's no big deal.
Well, it's not that bad.
No,
It's just a little nip.
just a little tooth or two.
Yeah, but we've used one of these down in Indiana, down on the property down there, and I'll tell you what, the thing about it is, we have to keep reminding everybody, it cuts on the backstroke.
Yes, that's one of the things about that saw is you got to remember that it cuts on the backstroke. Backstroke. So actually, get your back into it when you're pulling it.
Right. Yeah.
You know, which kind of makes it a total different as opposed to the upstroke. No,
Right.
that's just getting it set. Give it a good pull on the downstroke.
Absolutely. So, and as all with all Easy Cut products, lifetime warranty on it.
See, now you're getting first aid.
Put some pressure on it and a tourniquet on.
Now you're getting first aid from my brother-in-law. Great.
You want a tourniquet?
No, you ain't touching me.
I am sorry.
It's my fault.
Cut the man's hand off.
I'll still be able to go to work tomorrow.
Bloodletting on Up North Journal podcast.
First time.
That is true, and hopefully the last.
The human blood.
I hope it is the last. So,
Nah, no big deal.
I don't know about that, man. I feel bad.
I feel bad if I would pass out.
Yeah, if you bled all over my floor,
See, I didn't even drop a stitch of blood.
that's good.
I know.
That's
how
good.
good I am.
That's good.
So, but
First aid in the field.
first aid in the field.
So you got some of your gear out today too?
Yeah, it was kind of funny you mentioned that. Working on the yard, and I needed to get out the handheld pruners,
Okay.
and I needed to get out the
Loppers.
And tell you what, made quick work of what I wanted to do with those loppers.
I did the whole fence line today.
A couple of ratchets and came down. It was a piece of cake.
I was cutting some trees. Probably yay big around today. And it was just plowing through them. I mean,
Well, once you get it locked in,
Yeah.
and then you get that first in, and then you go for, and you hear the ratchet, you get
Yeah.
that second one in. That's where it's really powering down, and
Yep.
it's kind of really cool. And you're right, Tim. The handheld ones are great for out in the field, whether it be turkey season. Actually, it's any season, because you can be sitting there and you be like, hey, I don't really like that. Mm-hmm. And the way it goes, and it fits right back in your pocket.
yep.
But
Cutting wings off, birds, cutting legs off on turkeys,
and if you got them out, I can see this if you're going out goose season.
Right,
You're
yeah.
out there in the fields. If you're out there, need quick cutting, and,
Yep.
and they'll work anywhere. And I think one of the cool things is I actually got a pink pair, and I did it for a reason. Was just that reason, because the green pair is green.
If you drop them,
It is like, there they are.
Yeah.
Because I got that story from Josh about when they lost the whole pack.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So I'm thinking, well, if you're up in the tree and you drop it out, and it's like, uh-oh.
where'd they go?
Right?
Right. And the loppers, I'm looking forward to using them this year to do the jawbone extraction on does when we take those, so we can start aging the deer that we do take. So I'm looking forward to getting them in there and use them for that as well.
Thanks, Terry. He says it's funny live on Facebook.
Okay.
It was live. There was no editing in that, blood.
No. Hey, Derek. Hey, Derek's joining us, man. Hey, what's going on? Good. Glad to see you tonight. See you're joining us.
And you know what? We're gonna get Michael Fairfield on the show.
Mm-hmm. Talk more about the
and
products.
we'll talk more about them, and we'll go over them in depth. We'll probably go over the pack next. Get that thing away from me.
I'm gonna put the guard back on.
Thank you. We'll talk about they've got the obviously
Sling
they've got
pack.
the sling pack, the saw, and then they got the flagship is the handheld pruners. I think that's just incredible. So we'll talk about them as the year goes by, and I think the next we're going to talk about the sling pack, because really essentially that has everything you need in it out in the woods.
Yep.
You know, it's nice and handy if you want to get it 15, 20 feet in the air. Mm-hmm. But if you can't, you know, do you know how the loppers, how far they extend? Do you know offhand?
No, but
No?
I'll have to check.
Yeah, because that was kind of cool too. I did use that part as well. You know, the branch was kind of higher up, and I just made them longer, reached up.
Well, today, I mean, I've kind of messed my back up this week, and I've been
Now you want to see some funny live TV? We should follow you to the chiropractor, buddy.
No, man, that was violent. But I got squared away. But I want to do some work outside today, but I didn't want to be bending over, and you know, as I'm leaning over, using the ratchets on them, on the loppers on those trees. You know, they're trees. I mean, they were a couple inches around. You know, so I didn't want to have to power through that and be bending over. So I extended the handles. I stood straight up and reached down, and
I tell you what, I've actually got a couple pairs of loppers. Just general, I don't want to say 18-inch maybe.
yeah.
But you're right. If you've got to cut something, you've got to bend down. Whereas you can just extend these and not hurt your back.
Don't have to bend over.
Right, exactly. And another advantage of them, I tell you.
Yep.
They thought about it when they were actually putting those together.
Yeah, you look at the way those things are built and the features it's got. I tell you, I was blown away when I bought my pack and got it out and really plowed through it. It's very well put together. So, but I tell you what, let's take our last break. We'll save the rest of our time because I've got something I want to run by you. We've talked about this briefly, but we've not talked about it on the podcast. Something that came up here recently. So,
okay.
So let's step outside, take a quick break, and we come back. I got a question for you.
All right, I got an answer.
We'll be right back after this. Okay, those of y'all on the
Those
live
of you
stream,
that got any questions about me bleeding to death, not passing out.
Derek, were you on in time to see me cut Danny's hand off?
Let's go to the replay. Right?
Too bad I don't have the replay. You have to wait till we're done live streaming. Play it back.
We'll go to the slow-mo replay.
Right.
I don't even know how I did it. I just moved my hand to get around this. And
You moved your hand up and went right into the teeth.
yeah, I went right in the teeth.
I have a feeling that I'm going to pay for that somehow. I got this sneaking suspicion somewhere down the road.
Nah, I'm not like that. So,
all right, here we go. Stand by in 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Last segment of the show. Danny is no longer bleeding out all over everything here.
you ready?
So before we went to break, I said I had a question for you.
Yes, you did. All right, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this was not pre-asked to me, so you're going to get the live version of my answer.
Well, I think I already kind of know your answer because we touched on it briefly.
Oh, okay.
Briefly. Last week, in the state of Wisconsin, there's a proposal for Buffalo County to have a doe-only season. What do you think about that?
Interesting.
Buffalo County is probably the most well-known for big bucks.
If anybody knows Buffalo County, Wisconsin, it is one of the prime destinations for big bucks. I mean, big bucks. And now, the local group, I think it's a local group, has come up and said, let's have a does only.
I thought it was DNR was
I think
talking about
it's something like that. There's a group, and it has the DNR, I think, included. And they said, let's go with a doe only because they want to use it to reduce the herd.
Reduce the deer herd.
Yep.
There's too many deer in this county. taking the toll on the habitat, worried about disease, CWD, the whole 9 yards. So they're wanting to reduce the deer herd.
So they're proposing, and I don't know when this will happen. I don't know if it would be this year or next year, to come up with a doe only for the entire year. Interesting. But then you realize there's let's say they want to propose this, kind of like in Michigan how they do it, propose it, vote on it, and it's enacted for this fall.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's think about that. I don't know if it's the same timeline in Wisconsin, but I'm pretty sure that there's been a lot of outfitters out of Buffalo County that have already taken money for the upcoming season.
Mm-hmm. Because you book those hunts a year, sometimes more than a year in advance.
Sometimes there's waiting lists.
Right.
And this is a county where I'm pretty sure there might be a waiting list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. But all of a sudden now you're saying, okay, Joe Outfitter, you can only shoot does this year. And now Joe Schmo Outfitter's got to go, oh, I'm going to charge a guy to come shoot a doe?
Right.
Ooh. Okay. That's one side of it. The other side of it is, well, if I can't shoot a buck, I'm okay shooting does, but I want to shoot a buck too, whether I'm local or I'm coming and I lease land.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would I want to lease land if it's just does only?
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I'm not paying to shoot does. I can shoot those wherever.
Right.
So now you're saying to the farmer, you might not be able to lease your land.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very interesting. I don't think it's got a prayer and chance. It might. I don't know. But to me personally, I would think you better come up with either say this could happen in 2 to 4 years and we'll pick a year and you can plan for it. But really, there's people that dependent on that, whether it be the farmer side, outfitter side, or who's all involved. That
The local economy?
Local economy, they come in, they buy from the grocery stores, they go to the
hotels, all
hotels. Yep. It's an interesting concept to go after does only, which, truthfully, you could put a really good dent in if it was does only.
If you could get the people to buy in to actually do it.
There you go. That was my second part of the equation was, well, okay, so you say does only, but could you get the people to do it?
You got to have hunter participation. And the thing about, from what I've read, because I don't know that area, I know what I've read about it, that most of the hunting land there is privately owned. There's not a lot of public grounds.
There is not. And basically the farmers lease the timber off their farm fields, right? And it's pretty hilly over there.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that near where you went?
that's exactly where I went.
Oh, it was that county.
It was Buffalo County.
Okay.
It's exactly where I went, and I know exactly where they're talking about, and I know the exact guy they talked to. So, yes, I'm going to try to get him on the show.
Okay.
I want to get his input because it's kind of funny that they go and do this.
I've got the episode.
Yes, you got
not the episode. The magazine.
Yeah, that was Buffalo County.
The issue right here. A young Dan DeFaw.
A young Dan DeFaw. But interesting hunter participation in anything that you're striving to do is key. Like here, we've talked in Michigan till we're blue in the face. Shoot everything on site. I'm not going to shoot anything. Mm-hmm. Well, wait a second. How's that working out? You know, you talk to the one side, people, oh, we got to help them out. We got to shoot. And then you talk to the other side that goes, we're not shooting a thing.
Right. And we know people that have been in that position.
Right, exactly. So it's one of those things you just, it's an interesting plan. I don't know how far it would go. And how would you track it? I don't know if they have for does mandatory registration.
I don't know about Wisconsin.
But there again, it's a county. It's county-wide. So how you're going to have to trust Joe Schmo to pass up that, which could be a buck of a lifetime.
Right. And watch him walk.
And
okay. Put this scenario by you. Okay, so you're hunting property and you're on the county line, and let's say it's a dirt road,
Yep.
On the left side of the road is County A, and the other side is Buffalo County, where they're talking about this. And you have to watch this giant walk, and he walks across the road, and that guy shoots him.
Right?
I mean,
Right?
you know something like that's going to happen.
I'm telling you,
But the bigger issue to me is, okay, you shoot the does, but they didn't say anything about shooting the right does.
well,
We've talked about that on the show.
that gets into it a little deeper. Okay, so now you say does only. Do you specify? Do you just generically say shoot a doe? Mm-hmm. Because if you're shooting the wrong does, you're going to end up with the wrong
makeup
that
your
you're
farm
trying
crop.
to get.
You're right.
Right?
Right.
So it's just one of those things. It's a very loaded question.
There,
really.
there was a thread out there, and I did comment on it, and I put that link out there talking about the age of the does and the resulting fawn crop for the next year. And nobody responded. I was actually kind of shocked.
You know, and I know. See, that's the thing. When you get in, the question to shoot the right does, then you get into that whole aspect. And then if you shoot the right doe, you're on the right track. But how many are going to abide by it? How many are going to? It's just, or how many are going to say, "Well, I don't want to get rid of all my deer," because I have heard some complaints here in Michigan that towards Lansing. Imagine this. A guy, and he's not really a hunter. He's just he lives out that way.
Okay.
And
Somebody you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he a few years back, he would be easily to see 100 deer in the field. Mm-hmm. And he was just telling me numbers.
Right.
To him, it doesn't matter if the deer. He just doesn't want to hit it.
Right. He didn't care if he saw 1 or 100.
Right.
He just said that's what there is.
Yep.
Okay.
And my first question was, "Hey, bud, do you need somebody to go hunting over there?" Mm-hmm. And he kind of laughed. I said, "No, seriously." But then now he says, "Well, I don't see that numbers anymore. I'm seeing a really downtrend to 15 to 25." And I haven't asked him this year, coming out of the winter, what he's seeing. But yeah, he's seeing numbers decline. For him, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter one way or the
But for
other.
some people, when they go out hunting, they want to see deer.
We had that discussion here before as well. You know, do people want to see one deer and it be the deer that you want to shoot, or are they happy with that, or do they want to see, 10 deer in a sit, 20, whatever that number is? What does it take to make you as a hunter satisfied that you were in the field and saw something?
And that's one of the biggest things in as far as getting youth and a new hunter in the field is if you go out there and sit and watch squirrels, it gets boring real quick.
Right.
But if you're able to watch other deer and kind of explain to the new person, "Hey, look, they're doing this because of,"
Right.
and you mentor them through, and not, if you're not seeing a buck but you're seeing a doe, you're still learning.
Right.
And that's one of the things. But so to go and say in a county like that, does only,
It's bold.
it's bold, and I'm assuming it was for 1 year only. But so now on the flip side, okay,
So what happens if they don't? Let's say they did impose this, and they didn't get the numbers they needed. Then what?
well, okay,
Is it a failure, or do they keep going with it?
right. Now imagine this though. 1 year I think is doable with grudge, but let's say you didn't get your numbers. You say we're going to do it for 2 years. Now you've taken those bucks that you haven't been able to shoot. I imagine the growth on those bucks are going to be out of this world.
That's what you and I had talked about last week. I was like, the first thing I said, can you imagine if you let that go for 2 years, that you've already got big deer there to begin with, big bucks?
And they go unimpeded, unstressed, just
Do
there
your
you
thing.
go,
Yeah.
do your thing, eat.
You're going to have a good, mature buck crop.
Second year, when they get into that, and you're telling somebody they can only shoot a doe,
Yeah.
that would be interesting.
Your
because-
brother has said something here. The thumb area could use a doe only. It's funny he mentions the thumb area, because did you hear this week that
I saw the post.
the vote come back out? I listened to a live stream from Lincoln Roan from the Let 'em Go, Let 'em Grow group. It was a 55% of the people in the thumb that voted in favor of APRs. 45 said no.
Yep.
45%.
They were looking for a 62%.
62 or 66. I can't remember. It was
66.
super
It's got
majority.
to be 2/3 of the
Two-thirds of the vote.
majority.
Yeah. And what gets me, and I thought about this. I was laying in bed the other night thinking about this, and I thought, okay, so they want the super majority in order to try this out. That was the premise behind this. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Why is it that the DNR or the NRC, or I think it's the NRC that actually conducts that?
Yep.
They send out these questionnaires. But when it comes time for them to vote on our rules for the year, they only need one more vote than yes than no. Why don't they go by supermajority?
Right?
Why don't they follow their own advice?
Well, no, this doesn't make any sense.
Because they get nothing done.
You know, that's the thing. It's one of those things.
Oh, hey, speak of the devil. Right there he is, Lincoln Road, 66%. Yep.
There you go, 66%.
You know.
And, yeah, I don't know. It's bold, especially in a county such as Buffalo County in Wisconsin, where you've got outfitters that are taking money planned for this fall that guys are expecting. I don't know how many doe-only hunts that they sell, but they're going to be having, you know, clients come in looking to shoot a buck, and if that gets changed, I get a feeling they're going to be refunding some money.
Why don't their outfitters come up and say, hey, you know what, you got your buck hunt, but while you're here, I want you to shoot 2 does.
I think that's perfectly.
Why not?
Yeah, and now you might get you'll definitely get the old.
Well, not the right does.
Well, you probably won't get a shoot a doe because they're waiting for the big buck at that time. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because I was in that situation, and I ran because that's what they told me.
Right.
Oh, you can shoot it. You can shoot it anything you want, Dan. You can shoot a doe. You can shoot a spike. You can shoot anything you want. Well, when they show you pictures of big bucks out there, you're like, well, why? Yeah, 4-point comes along. I ain't gonna do it.
Right.
You know. Okay. Do I shoot a doe? Well, if I shoot a doe, then I'm done. And then I'll probably be sitting there looking at a dead doe, and all of a sudden this buck's going to show up. I can't shoot it. It's like,
so you only had one tag?
I had one tag, and I could shoot, to my understanding, if it was anything I could get my little paws on.
Okay, so it wasn't, they didn't have like a doe-only tag you could purchase?
It was I was looking for a big
one
buck.
and done.
And I tell you what, it is nerve-wracking to the point where they show you, okay, you're going to be in a stand looking at X deer, looking for X deer. You can shoot anything, but I'm telling you what's in the area.
Right.
You're like, well, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of get the hint of what I want to look at.
Right, right.
I did see the buck that I did see, which was very, very nice, was, for me at the time, would have been about a 45-yard shot. And it was nice, but, you know, you sit there and you run that through your mind. And
was this archery season? Or
yeah, it was archery season.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a week early.
Okay.
The last night I was there, they were taking the corn off the field.
Okay.
And the deer were just running everywhere. I was coming out of the woods, and the sun was going down on the hill. There was just they were beautiful.
Cruising.
Really. So, but yeah, it's an interesting concept. Very bold to do it in Buffalo County. I would be not. It would be interesting to see how that goes. If I can get a hold of Tom and get him on the show, we'll get him on and get his take on it.
Yeah, I would be very interested.
And he's definitely on both sides of the coin because he's not the farmer type, but you know he does the outfitting and he's been there for a bunch of years, so he's seen probably ups and downs over there.
Sure.
So we'll get his opinion and try to get him on the show and see what those cheeseheads are up to over there.
Right. Well, you know, it's funny, man, how some of the things that's been going on lately is we get our dander up so bad on deer, whether it's bucks, does, shooting the right ones, too big, too small. You know, and we see it in the industry. You know, it's just it's maddening at times what calcium on top of an animal's head will do to a man's mind and drive him completely insane.
Well, not just that.
Instead of managing the herd for what's best.
Not just that. It's funny you say that because when you hear of somebody shoots a big buck, there's always that. Well, they shot it illegally.
Oh yeah, they all automatically assume that. Yeah.
Some do.
Jealousy
will get it gets. Well, you shot, you know, and you hear some of these big bucks that were taken, and you're finding out that they were taken illegally.
That's the sad part.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's amazing what this little animal do to people.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, you don't see it so much in the bear industry or.
I don't know. You know, I mean, I've hunted bear three times, and it's been at our place. So I mean, it is what it is. It's not like going to an outfitter or, you know, I don't know much about the bear hunting industry.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the drive is, you know, in that area.
You know, and that's the thing. It's amazing what the whitetail deer does, and I'm sure, you know, we're more into the whitetail, but you got the duck hunters out there. I'm sure with the lead shot issue that was going on, and you had that side, and now you got fishermen. It's titanium, I think, lures and sinkers, and you know,
there's always an agenda driving the industry, no matter what industry you're involved with.
Right, exactly. You know, and you know what's the driving force behind it? Why? You know, peel back the onion, as we always say, and kind of look and see what's going on, and who's actually pushing it. So,
right.
Yeah. So that's my take on Buffalo County, because it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I really have a hard time for them to say does only this year or next year.
Yeah. It would be a tough pill to swallow. If you were an outfitter, definitely, or a farmer that had land to lease. So I can understand.
Oh, that's interesting. My brother has never been asked any survey questions, and he hunts up in the thumb, not tip of the thumb.
Okay.
But I've gotten surveys.
I get surveys. Sometimes I'll get multiple surveys of the same survey more than one time.
Yeah, I've gotten that.
You know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I get them quite a bit.
I don't know if there's a way that they just pick randomly, or, you know, I don't know. But that's kind of
I would hope it's random. Otherwise, they're going to skew the results of what they're trying to find out.
No.
You know?
Imagine that, right? So, yeah, but interesting. We'll see if we can't get some back information on this from a person that lives right over there in there.
Let's do that. Let's see if we can get them on.
I'll throw I'll cast my line that way.
All right. See if you can reel us in an interview.
Yeah. You got any questions over
there? No. Denny Steiner's in. He says sorry he's late.
He's late.
He's not late. He's just in time to listen to us here finish up.
Talk about deer hunting.
That's right. So,
unless he's interested in a trailer, then go back to the first two segments.
That's right. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're going to go over to the factory Tuesday. So look for some live drops from us, some pictures. We're going to go hang out with Tread Barta and John Such.
And and we're going to meet Tread. Never met him.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be pretty cool.
You talked to him on the phone, was interesting. I'm sure in person will be just as interesting.
That's right. So, and then turkey season for us hopefully is coming up in 2 weeks. I'm planning on being in the woods 2 weeks from yesterday. That's the plan. And we'll see if that happens. What else we got coming up?
Actually, we got what's coming up is we've got hopefully doing some fishing.
Got fishing.
I'd like to get out and do some fishing. It's going to be about that time.
It is. Need to wet a line.
And, Lincoln Roan's got a comment there.
It's completely random sampling of hunters that have indicated that they hunt in that area. Okay. So if you're buying a tag, I would assume
you buy a tag in that area.
Yeah, if you buy a doe tag for that area, I assume
or whatever,
they know you hunt in that area, obviously. So there you go, Terry.
I know what the answer is because of lack of quality bucks Michigan. But yeah, man, we're getting into the warm finally. Get out, doing some yard work, but getting out, doing some fishing, get the kayaks out. Maybe even do that. And
got some archery shoots coming up.
Archery shoots down the road, and
got a couple that we're actually looking into pretty hard here.
Yeah.
And we'll know more about that hopefully here this week, and we'll be talking about that if that's the case.
And maybe next week we will go over our archery bows.
Yeah, actually, hand me that right there real quick.
And you,
can you reach that there?
Come on, what do you want me to hand you?
Last night we went to my wife and I went over to the Oakland County Sportsman's Club to their annual archery banquet. Danny and I shot leagues this year, and had no idea that this was coming, but got a little presentation for the Sunday Night FIDA League 2019 High Game Handicap with Handicap 649. So. I shot.
Not too shabby, young man.
Well, what this means is my handicap was real high because the first 3 weeks I really stunk. And then I shot pretty doggone well. I think it was week 5.
Yeah, I remember that week.
Yeah, so
And you thought you were shooting bad. If I remember right, you were pretty upset. You were shooting bad, but then you were actually shooting good.
I don't.
Then again, all the weeks ran together that you were mad at yourself.
I was never happy with the way I shot.
That's a true statement.
But yeah, I was like shocked that I got this. So thanks to the club, and it was a fun night there at Oakland County Sportsman's Club. Good food, a lot of laughs, and Jim Beasley on the same league from Spot Shooter Archery. He took high game actual with a 597 out of 600. So pretty doggone good.
So 597 was the highest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Well, the two guys that we shot against that one night, I thought they shot 600s. But
I thought for sure those two guys could do a 597.
But yeah, so it was a fun night, and looking forward to shooting again. They've got a league coming up that actually I'm kind of going to talk to you about here after we're done with the show. So we'll see if we can get into an evening league and see how that goes. But
I have put dope permits in the thumb. He still isn't getting selected.
there you go.
You're just not on the list.
Yep, Terry, they don't want to talk to you.
You're a redhead.
So, but that's all. I think that's all I got this week.
That's all for this week. We're coming back. Next week we'll talk about our bows. We got some other stuff we can probably talk about. See if we can't drum up an interview.
Yeah, I've been shooting the 28, the Evolve 28. I've got that on at 20. I got 30 pretty well dialed in. So I'm working on that, getting that ready. Hopefully, that's what I'm going to be taking turkey hunting with me.
And hopefully I'll be switching over my other bow to my one that I just got in, my Evoke.
Okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to make that a 3D, or are you
That's gonna be the 3D.
Okay.
Actually, that'll probably be my 3D bow.
Okay, and I just got in my new target bow, the shoot down, PSE shoot down.
Yeah, it's over there getting
strong.
Getting strong.
That's right.
So
we're
stay
gonna
tuned. We'll talk
go
about
through the
more of
build
that.
on it.
Yep, we'll go through the build on that, and then we'll see if we can't drum up an interview for next week.
All right, sounds good. So, we got something else. Lincoln Rowan, have a great week, guys. Peace out. Thanks, appreciate it. You guys, if you're looking at doing food plots, Packer Max, get over to the Packer Max website and check that out. And Cultipacker, that's one thing
you
need to get out there with your ATV and get your seed bed.
It's wet out there enough that you can use it like you did.
Yep.
Multiple uses
Yep.
to do it. I tell you what, it's wet out there.
It is.
It is just some water out there. And Tom Gensel, real quick, hasn't gotten a survey in quite a while.
That's odd. A lot of people saying they're not getting surveys.
And he seemed to get one every year, and then
Nothing.
Yeah.
I've been getting them every year religiously, probably for the last 7-8 years. So.
Right. So.
All right.
Man.
Well, that's all we got this week, folks. So we're going to wrap it up. For those of you on the live stream, hang around. If we got some questions, we'll answer them for you. We're going to wrap up the podcast. So that'll do it for us this week, folks. And if you got any questions, shoot them into us real quick here before we wrap it up for the evening. Make sure if you guys are in the mood of looking, for a new camper, we had John on from HL Interprise down in Elkhart, Indiana, for the first half of the show. Go over their website and check it out. Danny posted a link here in the comments column.
Yep, I posted right in the comments column.
So go check it out if you're looking for a trailer.
Yeah,
a new camper.
And then join us next week, and we'll talk about a little bit about everything. Actually, I think we do have an interview scheduled for next week.
Yes, we do. It's funny. Yeah, I know exactly who it is, too. So as soon as you said that.
What can we do?
So I don't see anything else coming in. So we're going to wrap up the show here on the live stream, folks. Y'all take care. We'll be back again next week. I'll be coming back from up north, so hopefully I got some good stuff to talk about from camp. I got some gear I'm going to be retrieving. So
All right.
Everybody take care. Have a good week, and we will see everybody next week.